What's going on? So we're here today to talk about our Tech Speed Shop Burnout truck. It is a 2005 Chevrolet Silverado 2500. It's a truck that's been in like the family here for quite a while, and we have converted it with a lot of Tech Speed parts and a lot of parts from companies that we do business with into an absolute burnout monster. So just kind of going over the bones of the build here. We've got our Tech Speed 1200 horse rated short block, which is a dart block based engine. It's got a Tech Speed crankshaft, Tech Speed I-beam rods, a Wiseco piston, and with our PRC 260 heads, which are like our LS3 head, that's a 6-bolt offering. We've got a supercharger on it that we've been working to test. This is a Rotrex unit. They're a company out of Denmark. They've been building superchargers for a long time. This is a new offering from them that's a bigger blower, meant to work with, you know, the larger engines that kind of like in our lane, right? That supercharger on this engine, this truck through a 4L80 and a 14-bolt, made 883 at the rear tire. That was in a very rushed, abbreviated dyno session. I think with tuning, locking up torque converter, stuff like that, making like mid 900 wheel is gonna be pretty easy to do. Some other stuff we've got going on. We've got our Texas Speed Titan intake with the TIC Performance intercooler brick in there. And that is really keeping our intake air temps down. When we're out there in the burnout pit, this thing's making, you know, 15 pounds of boost for sometimes 2-3 minutes straight. That just makes heat, you know, makes a ton of heat. And we've had excellent luck with this intercooler brick and the intake combo. The purpose of this truck, other than just popping tires and having fun and putting on a show, is to torture test some of the parts that we make. So we've got our cylinder head, our crankshaft, our connecting rods, our cam and valve train and springs and everything on this, and we go out there and like set this thing on the chip for like minutes at a time, just as like a worst case test, you know. Really hard on stuff. Rev limiters are hard on stuff. Making 1,000 horsepower for, you know, minutes on end is really hard on things. So here soon we're gonna take off this valve train, put on some other stuff, and continue testing some valve train parts. Another new Tech Speed part that we have on this that we're just abuse testing is our Texas Speed 103 drive-by-wire throttle body. This will work on a Gen 3 LS or a Gen 4 LS. That thing's been great, and it gets bounced off the limiter, closed, slammed shut, the blow-off valve. At times we've had it functional and non-functional just to really abuse that thing and see if it's gonna, you know, break a gear, break the drive inside. It's just been trucking along, you know. We have in this thing as well, we have a Circle D torque converter. This one's a 3600 stall. Going from the torque converter that we had in here previously to like this torque converter, just on converter slip and efficiency, we picked up about 40 mile an hour at the same RPM at the rear tire. So if we can do the math on that, effectively it shows us that the old torque converter was not up to the task of this engine and blower, and we were absolutely blowing through the converter. This one is working super good. We've been abusing the crap out of it. We've been locking it up in the burnout pit, just, you know, 200 mile an hour wheel speeds, and then hitting the lockup, it'll shoot up to about 240-ish. Just absolutely abusing the whole thing in an effort to prove out these parts and show that they're up to the task of this combination. They're up to the task definitely of your, you know, street strip car. We started out this truck with the factory GM ECU. This truck in particular actually worked very well. We had zero real issues out of the factory ECU, but there's a lot of shortcomings with safeties and flexibility for running different fuels, or if we want to control a bunch of crazy stuff on this truck. We've got pumps everywhere and secondary injectors and lights and a bunch of stuff going on, and like the Haltech offers so much flexibility for not only the tuning side of things, but the safety protecting the engine, well, primarily the engine. The engine in this thing is worth more than the entire truck 10 times over. So we want to keep that engine alive, even though if you've seen any of the videos of us actually running the truck, it doesn't look like we're trying to keep the engine alive. It looks like we're trying to kill it. We've been accused of that, but that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to demonstrate that you can run these things ridiculously hard, and as long as you got a little bit of sense and ideally some safeties built in with like an aftermarket ECU offering like Haltech, you're gonna have a good time. So at the back of the truck, we have made some modifications, some intentional, some unintentional. The intentional ones was one, this barrel. We welded the barrel in the bed, and we welded it in there as a coolant reservoir for the heat exchanger for the blower. So we have a Davies Craig 33 gallon a minute pump up there, which moves 33 gallons a minute through the heat exchanger, and we have a huge thermal battery basically of cool water back here to keep the intake charge cool. Gets a lot of looks. People are kind of stressed out when they see it tip in the first time in the pit, because they think, why is that fuel barrel just sitting in the bed of the truck while this guy's going like 80 miles an hour, and then he flips the truck in the pit, you know? So, but it's staying there. It's shown to be permanent because we've tapped the wall once or twice, and it stayed perfectly well put. The other thing we have back here, we have a fuel cell, and it's kind of covered up by this heinous tire, see? And we've got our snow triple pump kit in there with triple Hellcat pumps in it. So more than enough fuel for this thing that's consuming, I don't know, maybe 1,100 horsepower worth of fuel.
Let's talk about what happens to this.
Okay.
The bed.
So this truck was pretty dang mint, even for having 430,000 miles on it before it became a burnout truck. And we didn't exactly understand how much energy there was when the tires actually let go. And it wasn't a big deal when we had the old gear in it and when we had the old torque converter in it. The tires would pop, but it didn't really do any real damage to anything. It was kind of messing some stuff up, but then we changed the gear and we changed the torque converter, and we have so much more speed back here that when the tires do actually let go, it is in short order destroying the bed. So this is 100% from just tires coming apart, and yeah, blew the entire wheel well out. So in the future, we're going to get a different bed and we're going to reinforce it and make it not do this. So we have actually officially won our first burnout comp. It was one that we did this past weekend, HMP, and that's in Houston. And this actually means a lot because it was judged by Aussies, and really a lot of the Aussies and a lot of the other drivers are the ones that actually voted to give us this and scored us the best, the best skid of the night. And that, that meant a lot coming from guys that have been doing this for years and years, because we're still very new and getting to know the truck, getting to know how to drive the truck, and then how to put on a show like we're supposed to. We've actually put a lot of work in this truck, a lot of thought, and the truck works extremely well.